All right, guys, we're a little early, and it's our first night with this new setup. And if you're out there, I'm amazed. I don't know how you found us, but welcome. And we're going to start the show here in a couple of minutes, and it's going to be a fun night actually, because this is sort of a dress rehearsal, and that's just glad to have you along to see how the train's going to wreck tonight. So yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm Ken Bailey, and this is the Ken Bailey Show, and we're going to have lots of segments tonight just to try a few things out. We're not going to have any guests. Tonight we're going to have this week though. We're going to have lots of wonderful folks coming and join us, and I hope you come back and join us too. About 6 minutes till 7 right now, and we're going to just get ready to have a show. I'm going to do a little praying here before the show. That's what we always do. So if you want to bow your head if you feel like it, and just lift up somebody, something that's on your mind, on your heart, and we'll be joining you in that. And so we're going to take a little bit of time here to do just that. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, it says we have an excellent connection. That's good to hear. And we're streaming, and if I knew how to tell folks where we were, I'd do that. We got to figure out how to tell folks that we're on the air and live, and tomorrow night hopefully we'll have all that information out, and we'll start to build a little bit of an audience. So that's exciting. Well, my friend Steve McCurdy always says I'm ready, fire, aim. So I think we're going to just take a couple of moments of silence here, and then we're going to start the show. Enjoy. Hey guys, it's Ken Bailey, and you found us at the Ken Bailey Show on YouTube, of all things. Whoever thought we'd be on YouTube and with no picture? And we're gonna probably change that over the time we have ahead with us. But for tonight, we're just doing strictly our podcast thing on YouTube, and I'm so glad that you found us and are part of us. Tonight, we're featuring a new co-host on our show, and we're happy to have Mikey the Mime with us. Mikey, how you doing, Mikey? He's doing great. He looks great. He's needs to get out in the sun a little more, but he looks good. Mikey's looking good, and I think he's feeling good. And And we looked around, and because of all the diversity issues that are out there and everything, we wanted to be a part of that. And so our research team searched, and we're the only podcast that has a mime as a co-host. So that community is represented on our show, and we're proud of Mikey and having Mikey join us. Yeah, thanks, Mikey. Yeah, exactly. Couldn't agree more. Hey, listen. While I'm talking about Mikey, I want to promote his new Christmas album that's coming out. It's called Silent Night, and it's a wonderful, very peaceful kind of album for Christmas. And so Mikey the Mime has his Silent Night album out, and one of the things that's featured on there is something he's done for years now at the holidays at Christmas time, is his Trapped in a Snow Globe. And if it's just something that to be amazed by, to see Mikey. And a lot of people do that Trapped in a Box thing, which is kind of old hat, but his Mikey's Trapped in a Snow Globe for Christmas is quite a wonderful thing. We don't have any guests with us tonight. It's just Mikey and I here in the studio, and it's kind of nice. We're trying out a lot of things tonight, and a lot of new things, and we're on YouTube. And if you have the opportunity to like us and subscribe, that would be over the top amazing. Just the idea that you'd subscribe to the show, we would love that. And we appreciate you, and we're going to be able to have call-ins on the show. When I was working at Channel 13, when I was just a kid, I was 18 and going to University of Houston, and I worked at Channel 13 in Houston, and we started a show on there at Channel 13 during the daytime. My classes were in the afternoon and evenings, and so I worked mornings, and we had this show called Dialing for Dollars. Dave Ward, who's just recently retired from Channel 13, was one of the co-hosts, and Dan Ammerman, I think was his name, was another guy. And the show was, the idea of the show was that we would take a Houston phone book, and we had the count and the amount. And so whatever the count was for the day, they would flip over in the phone book and count down from the top and land on somebody's name in the Houston phone book. Hard to do that today. And then they would call that person randomly. And then they would ask that person if they were watching the show. And if they were, then they would ask them if they knew the amount, the dollar amount that was in the tumbler thing that they had, where they had dollars in there. And if you knew the dollar amount, then you won. And so the show started out, and we went a few days calling people randomly, and of course we'd call people and no one ever heard of the show, and much less knew what the count and the amount were. So it went on for days and days and days, and I thought, we're never going to find anybody. And then one day we actually called someone randomly, or they called someone, and this lady was watching the show, and she knew the count and the amount, and she won several $100s, and she was very excited. So little by little, it got to be a very popular show, and so I think we may do some call-outs at some point during this show, not tonight, but some point we may just call some folks and see if they're listening to the Ken Bailey Show, but we won't do that for a while yet. So, but we do have some different things. We have one segment that, in fact, I'm going to get into it right now. It's called
Topical Ointment. Topical Ointment.
Yeah, it's called Topical Ointment. It's our version of the news. The news is so dire, and it's just it's hard to listen to all the things that are going on, regardless of your red, blue affiliations or all that. It's just there's so many things that are kind of hard to listen to on the news. So I've decided that we're going to, in our topical ointments, we're going to deal with topics from days gone by. And so we're looking at this day in history. And on today, in 1969, President Nixon addressed the nation about prospects for peace in Vietnam. He outlined a program of Vietnamization in which the U.S. military would gradually turn over operations to the South Vietnamese forces. This speech is often referred to as the silent majority speech because he said that despite protests of the war, a majority of Americans supported his policies. And then he said, you can quote me on that. And then a few of his quotes later on got recorded, and that was sort of it for the president. So, and in music, in 1927 on this day, Patti Page, the singer, the pop and country singer Patti Page was born. And she was one of the most popular artists in the 50s. And she recorded 4 U.S. hits, including Tennessee Waltz and a novelty record called How Much, do you know this? How Much Is That Doggy in the Window? Wow, I'm old when I think about these kind of things because I remember as a little kid watching the hit parade with Snooky Lanson, and every week, because this song was on top of the charts, they would sing "How Much Is That Doggy in the Window," and it was just it was something that we that for little kids back then we really enjoyed. So I wish we had the ability to let people call in and sing that song if they knew the lyrics or the music or the tune, but I don't think we're not set up for that, and then I don't know the rights situations to it. I'll need to look up for something like that. So that was topical ointment.
Topical ointment, topical ointment.
In days to come, we may get more topical, more current with our news, but that's what we have for tonight. Okay, now I want to talk to you about something I'm really, really excited about. We've started a community. We have somebody calling the show. Hang on a sec.
Call from Patty Bailey.
Oh my
To
gosh.
accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Patty Bailey's calling the show. Hang on a second.
To accept, press...
Hello?
Hi, I'd like to tune into your podcast, but I don't know how. What do I go to if I want to listen to the Ken Bailey Show?
Yeah, I don't know. If you tomorrow we're going to send out a lot of folks. We're going to send out information, Patty, to people to let them know how to find us. Right now, if you go to YouTube Live, there's probably 100,000 people doing YouTube Live broadcasts, but we're one of them tonight. And so I don't know if that's a way to hear the show. We're not going to be on too late tonight, so you might, by the time you found us, what the connection was, we might be off the air. But anyway.
Okay, I'm going to try YouTube Live, and then when I get to that source, then I look for the Ken Bailey Show?
Yeah. You just you go to YouTube and put in the Ken Bailey Show, and that should take you. And if you look at live, the Ken Bailey Show, then who knows? You might find us there. That'd be pretty amazing.
Because I only saw old Ken Bailey shows so far. So, okay, I'm going to try that. Thank you so much.
Well, hey, Patty, if you find us on the live, call us back since you know our number, and let us know if it works. So if I don't hear from you, I know it didn't work. Okay, thanks for your call. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow, that was our first call-in from Patty Toole Bailey, the amazing actress and chick I get to hang out with a lot of times, which is pretty exciting right there. So, and she called at the perfect time because I was just starting to tell you about something new that we're doing. and that's we've started a community called Interactive Family, and it's at interactivefamily.com. And what it is, it's this really cool thing. It's there was so much in there. There's been so much in the news on, which was actually not too long ago. That was the topical ointment, was that Mark Zuckerberg and that whole team over there were and continue to be in a lot of trouble for their practices and how they were performing and in some cases through Instagram and all that. I know you guys know about this because it's been in the news a lot. Well, we decided to do something about it, and in our little way, we've started Interactive Family, which is a community. It's like Facebook, and of course it's small, but it's like Facebook in that it's a safe place where you can have groups of family, so your family can get together like Facebook groups. We can do that for you, and then you can. It's all free, and then you can, in status, you can tell people what's going on. Things that's happening that you're pleased with, and we'll be monitoring it. Obviously we don't want anything that's not family and God honoring on our show. So we'll watch it, but we think we'll be appealing to folks that'll respect that and actually help us grow. So that'll be fun. But part of the thing that we're doing for this Christmas is, and this is really big for us, is we're offering the 27-day Star Camp for the Young Magi. And what this is, it's a pretty cool thing. You can you'll be able to have different ways to purchase this, but if you've got a young love, a little love out there that's a child that's important to you, whether it's a child of yours, children that you're parents of, or your grandparents of, or just kids that you like, or nieces and nephews, or whoever it is. We have this 27-day Star Camp, and the concept behind it is that we've imagined that the Magi, the wise men, as they were returning back home from visiting with the Christ child and his parents, that it's easy to imagine that they were talking amongst themselves. Their gifts were left back there with baby Jesus, and that they wanted to share with the kids back home for them about what they found on their journey, and tell them the story of their journey, but also because they had met the living Messiah, and that they wanted to stay in touch and track the life of Jesus. And this is all in my imagination. But that every year, at the same time that Christians all over the world celebrate Advent. Do you know Advent? Do you know what that is? It's I grew up in a church community that didn't really celebrate Advent, and now we're at Bethany Christian Church in Houston, and that's part of our tradition at that church. But it's a really cool thing because it starts 4 Sundays before Christmas Day, and it's all about the anticipation of what's coming. I just don't believe that children today, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't believe that children today really anticipate Christmas the way we used to. I don't think the excitement is there. Certainly on the day of, and when they're opening gifts and doing all the things that they do, decorating cookies and trimming trees and all that stuff, there's a level of excitement, but it's also a level of excitement that's short-lived, and it's also not focused on baby Jesus often. And so what we've done is we've created this programming, 27-day star camp for the Young Magi. So what we have is we have the adventures. So we're spelling adventures, adventures of the Young Magi. And the concept is that when those wise men returned home, they started an academy for Young Magi to not grow them up so much in the astrology and all the things that that had helped form them as they grew up, but in this new knowledge that they had of coming face to face with the little Messiah, and knowing that he was going to grow and his influence was going to grow, and he would grow into the Messiah that the stars were part of the foretelling of. So this academy was formed, and so what we're offering to parents and grandparents and friends and aunts and uncles is a chance to it's only first we were doing it for $50 because it's every day for 27 days. Each day the child will receive a digital download of coloring pages, audio, films, just all kind of things to act out, ways to help other folks, ways to pray for other people, all the things that lead to the excitement, the anticipation of Christmas morning. And so we inform them about all the things, and we go along with the Magi on their original journey in my made-up way from a script I did years ago. And we're excited about sharing this with these young Magi. But at the same time, what we're hoping is that each evening the parents and families will gather around the dinner table, which not a lot of folks do anymore, I understand. And I know even in my own experience, we often have the television on, if not always have the television on. But the idea is for these 27 days for the family to get involved and to hear about the adventures that the young Magi, the boy or the girl, had experienced that day, things that they had learned, things that they had done, and part of the excitement, and then to participate with them. Maybe they'll read a script together. Maybe they'll read a story. Maybe they'll listen to an audio tape that's part of the adventure. So we landed on $25 because that's less than $1 a day, and you'll be able to send this little gift to the young Magi in your life, and that person will every day will get his own little or her own little gift that will lead them closer to the anticipation, create more anticipation of the coming of the Christ child. So I hope it's something that you choose to do. I really do. I think it'll be exciting for everyone involved. And even if you aren't around the table, you'll be able, because of COVID and everything, how we've learned to use Zoom and all those things, you can participate as an extended family for those 27 nights. And I think there's 27 days and 27 nights that could be really important to the family. So I hope you do that. I think it'll be rewarding for you. And one of the things that will be we got another call. Hang on a sec.
Call from Patty Bailey. To accept, press 1.
Hello.
Hi, I finally found you.
Did you really?
Yeah, I made it wasn't easy.
Well, good things never are.
And it was the irreverent page was up.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
Okay. I was thinking that wasn't it, so I might have encountered you earlier. So.
Oh, the graphic threw you off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just when I was putting things together, that was the one that that was the one that came up. I couldn't find the other one right away, so that was the one I.
So I thought that was an old one, and so I didn't. So I might have been able to open it sooner had I realized that was the Ken Bailey Show.
Well, that's so great. Okay. Well, thanks. I was just getting ready to play your "Oh Goody Hope Is Lost" for the folks.
Okay.
Yeah. So there'll be. And I just got through talking about the 27-day star camp for our Young Magi.
Yeah, I could hear a little of that, and I decided to interrupt because you said to call back. I got you.
Yeah, that's exciting, Patty. Thank you for doing that. Well, maybe tomorrow night there'll be 2, and then 4, and then 8, 16, 32. Who knows? By the end of the week, we may have 64 people that can find us.
This was a dress rehearsal. You could just do exactly what you did tonight.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We could just
you don't
go
have
over
to have new programming.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. Except there may be somebody out there that just happened upon us. Who knows? So we'll look at that. We've got those numbers, so I don't know how that is. But all right. Well, thanks for staying after it and finding us, and we'll let them hear a little of your talent here. With
okay, let's see if I can get back to it so I can hear it too.
Yeah, go listen to yourself. You're going to enjoy it. You're a wonderful talent, especially when you're doing my words. So, all right, love you, babe. Thanks for calling. All right, well, gosh, this is very interactive. I love it. Okay, so we're going to play for you. Actually all, because it's only about a 5-minute piece, but this is the kind of thing that the kids will hear. This one is a little short thing I wrote called "Oh Goody Hope Is Lost," which is based on the parable of the lost sheep. So, and it's performed by Patty Toole Bailey, our caller, our random caller. So we're excited that we got to. That she's going to get to hear herself. And here we go. Oh, goody, hope is lost.
In a time not then, but now. In a place not here, but there. There lived a shepherd named Goody who loved his sheep a lot. Now, Goody the shepherd had a lot of sheep. More sheep than all the seats in the world's biggest football stadium. More sheep than all the makeup on your mother's dresser. More sheep than all the freckles on my friend Ashley's face. Goody the shepherd had a lot of sheep. But even though Goody had so many sheep, he knew each one was special, and he gave each sheep their own special name. Come on, little Genesis. Exodus. Leviticus. Hannah. Montana. Idaho. Each evening, just before bedtime, Goody would gather all the sheep around him and thank God for his little loves. And God bless Wally, Willie, Wooly, Wiley, Wally.
You already said that.
Oh, sorry. Lovey, Faith, Charity. Wait a minute. Where's Hope? Here, Hope. 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 Goody the shepherd went to each part of the flock calling for Hope, and all the sheep looked for their little friend. But no one found Hope.
Oh, goody! Hope is lost!
Just then, dark storm clouds moved across the sky. Poor little Hope was lost and alone, and now she was going to be in a terrible thunderstorm. Now Goody gathered all his little sheep together. Even though Goody had so many sheep and all but little Hope were safe and sound, Goody couldn't stop looking until he had Hope safely back home. With the lightning lighting his path, Goody trudged across the muddy pasture looking for Hope. In the dark, he came to the edge of a jagged cliff. Below the cliff were bunches of thorny bushes.
Oh, get away, you're sticking me. Hey, don't you know it's not polite to point?
Just as he was turning to go, Goody thought he heard something coming from the thorny bushes. Goody listened harder, but all he could hear was the thorny bushes.
Ow! Ow! Oh, that hurts!
About to give up for a second time, Goody heard it again. The next flash of lightning lasted long enough for Goody to see something struggling against the branches of the thorny bushes. It was Hope! Excitedly and without worrying about getting stuck by the thorny bushes, Goody the shepherd reached in and pulled out little Hope. With Hope in his strong arms, Goody thanked God for little Hope and then took her back to the flock where she belonged. When they got back, all the flock cheered.
Oh, goody, you found Hope!
As the thunder clouds turned to cotton clouds, everybody celebrated and thanked God for the return of Hope. It was a beautiful night in the pasture. Did you know that just like Goody the shepherd loves each of his sheep, God loves each of us? And just like Goody, God won't rest until we are safe in his love. And just like in our story with God, hope is never lost.
All right, so there we go with Oh Goody, Hope is Lost, performed by Patty Toole Bailey. Aw, Mikey, are you crying? Oh, yeah, okay. Okay. Oh, Mikey's making me sad. Mikey, the mime, is our co-host, if you weren't here at the top of the show, guys, and we're real happy to have him. He's you probably have heard of him before, or maybe you haven't heard of him, but maybe you've seen him before. And we're uniquely pleased that he's our co-host on the show tonight. Mikey, you have what? Oh. He's okay, all right. Oh, he's telling me about our next segment, which is called
Catacomb of Chaos. A look-see into the questionable mind of Ken Bailey.
Well, I don't. That's enough of that. That's Catacombs of Chaos is kind of a catch-all for a lot of the things that we do around here, and it's one of Mikey's favorite segments. He really looks like a pretzel. I wish he had. Boy, I can't believe you can do that, Mikey. That is really wow. Okay, well that's inspirational. I'll say that for you. And then he was sort of acting out. You missed when Patty was doing the Oh Goody, Hope is Lost. Mikey got inspired, and he was acting out the show. He had heard it before, so he was kind of had a heads up on what was coming. And of course, he knew the story from the Bible because Mikey's a real scholar, and I appreciate his in-depth thinking and acting out on the Bible. You know, we're all called to act out on the Bible. That's something we can talk about another time. But yeah, maybe we don't. We just and then sometimes we just go around acting, right? Acting like Christians and not acting the way in real truth sometimes. And I know I never talk about anything on this show where I'm not the most guilty. Paul and I kind of agree on all that. You know, we're the kind of the worst of the worst. So, and certainly we're the goofiest of the goofiest here. So, but I hope you forgive us. I hope you enjoy our little areas where we play, and I hope you plan to come back. We aren't going to have guests with us this week. I can't share. I sent out a lot of emails to folks asking them to be guests on the show, and there may have been some kind of breakdown on email, but I didn't get a lot of response back yet. But we will. They're all friends, and I don't want to name anybody because they may not do it. But we're just real thrilled to be here behind the microphone here in the studio, talking to you guys. And if you're not listening to us live, well then we're gonna put this thing up on a couple of different places, and maybe you can catch it there, or tell some other friends to catch it, because we'd like to do this in a real consistent way, and we'd like to keep telling people about the 27-day Star Camp for the Young Magi, because we're real excited about that. In fact, if you go to kenbaileybooks.com, you can actually purchase it, and it's really cool the way it works. You can go on it and get it, but then you put on there who your young magi, the child that you want to have participate in the 27 days along with their family, the 27 days of Advent, the 27 days of anticipation, the 27-day Star Camp with the young magi, and then at the end of it, they'll get a little certificate that they're actually a young magi from participating in the camp. But more importantly, I think they'll be ready. They'll be so ready for that Christmas morning when they think more about, or as much, or maybe a little bit of, I don't want to be too overly hopeful, but they'll at least remember that the reason is there, in the gifts, in the stories, and that baby Jesus is ultimately what it's about, and then we want to tell them more stories. The young magi in their academy time, we'll have more things for them coming up for maybe Epiphany, certainly for Easter, and then there'll be opportunities for them to act out things, send in selfies on interactivefamily.com. We're going to have kind of God's refrigerator there where we'll be able to put up coloring pages and selfies and things that where kids have acted things out, all with the greatest care of anonymity for kids. It all happens within very controlled environments because we don't want anything getting out in this, unfortunately, this very dangerous times we live in. And so that's just the reality, and we want to be aware and not put anyone at risk, especially our little ones. So we're gonna go for the night, and Mikey. Okay, yeah, Mikey's walking away, which I guess he's not getting very far, but he's I guess that he's telling me it's time to go. So it is, and I want you to just be happy that God's in control, and I'm not. That's a good thing, and that you would love to have you back on the Ken Bailey Show. Come back and listen. Maybe you'll have a chance to call in. We're going to actually be giving some things away too at some point, and we'd love your feedback too, so we can grow the thing in a way that supports you and tells you, it encourages you, especially. That's a big thing we're doing. We're also going to be a forum for believer artists, some who may be known and some who no one have ever heard of, but are gifted, talented folks that are working for Jesus in their expression of whatever gift they have. So you're gifted. Remember that, and remember to let your light so shine, because you got that glow in you that the world needs right now. So take care. We'll see you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time on the Ken Bailey Show.